Hi, I'm Dick. This video is decided to explain how to sort rows on matrix columns in Power BI. At the very beginning, let's see how a standard matrix operates sorting. Now here, I present you a sample data set, and then with the matrix set up, customer as the row, year month as the columns, and then I fill in the values field with three data columns, sales, GP, GP percentage. Now, when you look at this, it is quite messy, all right? Too many columns. So that's why I create file slicer to allow the user to choose to see more or less data. Now, this time I click on the last 3 months, and you see that the 2023 August, July, and June data are presented here. And then the matrix is not on the GP percentage, but it is on the total GP percentage column. Of course, you can click on the GP. Then the matrix will sort on the GP total amount in descending order. Same for sales. However, you cannot click on other individual columns. There is no response from the matrix. See? Then how can we do the sorting on individual columns? Actually, the three total columns provide a clue. That means if I duplicate, for example, 2023-08 sales data, I mean duplicate this column to the total sales amount column, then I click on this. What will it be? You will see that the effect is the 2023-08 sales will be sorted in descending order, and then you will see the sales amount decrease from this row and then. Actually, this is the methodology of sorting rows on individual columns in matrix. Okay, I will walk through the step one by one, including how to set up this kind of slicer and also set up additional slicer to enable the user to sort on any years, any data type, for example, sales, GP, GP percentage, sales variance, GP percentage variance. I will go to detail. Let's go to the table view, and you see that the actual sales data table is the one I import from Excel, and then I have another measure table. Currently, I only have one measure. I name it report title, sales and GP report. Okay, and I'm going to create a middle layer data table, mainly from actual sales. Well, in actual sales, actually, there are only 4 columns, which is more relevant. Customer name, sales, gross profit, year month, I call it YM. Okay, new table, I call it sales table. I thought the customer name column is not good enough, so I rename it to customer in generating the sales table. Then YM. See, customer, and then year month. Next, I'm going to create a number of fields that store some meaningful data. I'm going to fast forward the creation process, and then I will explain to you what those columns means. I create 6 columns, namely sales GP, GP percentage, sales variance, which is the difference between current month and last month, and then the GP variance, same. Current month GP against last month GP. This is the increase or decrease. Okay, and then the GP percentage variance, the current GP percentage minus the last month GP percentage. Okay. Now I just show you how I work out on the sales variance. A little bit tricky because I use the current YM, and then I sort out the last month YM. Okay, the last month YM. Now this one. Okay, here, this is the formula of calculating the last year month. Okay, and then I sort out the last year month sales, and I have the current sales minus the last year month sales. Okay, so same for GP variance, and then very similar for GP percentage variance. I add one more column, namely X year, which is originated from the YM. This is for reporting a single year data in the matrix. Then I need to create another column, which is to enable the sorting order of YM. Now in matrix, for the YM column, I would like to present it in a descending order. That means, for example, the latest month is 2023-08. I would like it to be the first column, and 2023-07 as the second column. Okay, so I'm going to create a intermediary data table, and then come back to create the required data column. Here you see that I create a data table which is originated from the sales table YM. I again use the distinct function. All right, and this is the column created by this function, and then I create another column, sort order. I'm using the function rank X, and then input the YM table as the first parameter. And then the expression is the YM, comma. Well, actually, the in between the comma, the field usually we don't need to input. And it is in the descending order. Okay, that means 2023-08, the ranking would be 1. And then the last year month, 2022-01, is the highest large number ranking, 20. Okay. Then next, I create a measure, namely max order. I extract the maximum value of short order of IM table. Here you see that. Okay, this should be 20 because when you look at this, the short order, the maximum is 20. Sometimes you may wonder how to know that this is 20. It's easy. You go to here and then right click, add to field well. See, 20. This is the quick way to see the value of a measure. Then I come back to the sales table and create a column, YMX. Now this is the formula. The purpose of this column is to place the recent month at the top. When it is horizontal, then at the leftmost. I put sufficient space in front of the year month so that for the largest number, it will be placed from the leftmost to the right. Okay. Now I also use the lookup value, which is very similar to the VLOOKUP in Excel. Then we go to the report view here, and I put a matrix visual on the canvas. Okay, the rows I put customer. Here you see that there is a list of customer displayed. Then for columns, I put the YMX. Now instead of YM, now let me show you. If I put YM, this is in a ascending order, 2022-01 in the leftmost, and then the year month higher will from the left to right. But it may not be our desired output. Sometimes we want to see the largest number from the leftmost, and then the lower number from left to right. So that's why we create the YMX column. All right, so we change it to YMX. See here, 2023-08, 2023-07. See? Next, I'm going to fill up the values field. I place sales, GP percentage. However, I would say there may be too many months put into a single matrix. And you see that there are 20 months from 2023-08 to 2022-01. It may not be necessary. If there are too many, then it's not good. So I would like to add some slicer to enable the user to choose among last 3 months, last 6 months, and up to last 12 months. Alternatively, I will add one more filter, enable the user to just pick up a selected year. Now, all this can make our matrix report looking more presentable before we are going to do the row sorting on matrix columns. Okay. In order to define every single year month, which category of last n month they fall into, I need to sort out the current or the latest year month in our data table. So remember, we have a YM table. Obviously, you see that the latest one is the one in the short order, the number 1, 2023-08. So I create a measure, max YM. This is to extract the maximum YM. In our case, it should be 2023-08, and then we change it to a date output, and that's why I put 1. It doesn't matter because which day, it doesn't matter because we need this measure to calculate every single year month in the sales table, which category of last n month they fall into. I create a new column in the sales table named last 3 months. This is the DAX formula for this calculated column. I use the current row YM, all right, 2022-01, for example, and then I extract the year, extract the month, and then add the day 1, all right, and then use this variable compare with max YM in terms of a month. If they are less than 3, then that means 0, 1, and 2. It will be fall into the category of last 3 months. Now, of course, for 2022-01, it is not 3. It is not 3. It's even more. All right. So we pick up a good example. Now I filter it and then show all the rows that have the last 3 months. By the way, I call it last 3 months. Now later you will see how this last 3 months appear in the slicer. Okay. Now 2023-08. All right. 2023-08. The difference between the 10 YM, which pick up 2023-08, with max YM. The max YM, remember, it is also 2023-08. The difference in terms of month is 0. That means less than 3. So less than 3, we show last 3 months in this column. So by the same token, I'm going to create another 3 columns: last 6 months, last 9 months, last 12 months. Okay. Okay, you see that I have created the other 3 columns. They are using the same logic as last 3 months. The only difference is the number of months. This is 6, and then you see that last 6 months, of course, the column title also changed to last 6 months. Same. And then for the year, we already have a column X year. Okay. Then the next step, I'm going to create 5 slicer. 1 is for the year, and then the second one is for last 3 months. the third last 6 months, the fourth last 9 months, the fifth last 12 months. The selection will look like if any one of out of these 5 slicer is selected, the other 4 should be disabled. And then if we select the year, and then we find out, okay, I want to see the last 3 years, then I need to deselect the year slicer so that all the 5 slicer reappear all together, and then we make the new selection. Okay, let's create the first slicer. I pick up the standard slicer, all right, and place the last 3 months into here. Okay, then we need to do the formatting. Do I need the header? No. And then blank and last 3 months. So I need to do some filter. Do I need a blank? No, we just want this one. So I click on this. You see that? And this is not good enough, the standard slicer. All right, so let me see, the visual border. I pick up the white color and change it to 15 around the corner, and shadow the values. Different boldface. Okay. Does it look good? Let me see, maybe the height. Shorten the height. 15. All right. So let me try to click on this. Last 3 months. Okay, 2023-08, 2023-07, and 2023-06. And then do we need to enable the subtotal? In this case, I would say, let me disable it. Let me disable it. Okay. All right. Then I am going to replicate this slicer into 4 more. Okay. I have replicated the last 3 months to 3 other slicer and 1 more here. And then you can see that when I click on it, I already select last 6 months. Of course, the data column is last 6 months, similar for them. And the major difference is on this year. You see that is 2023, 2022. Of course, I already choose the sorting order to descending. Okay. However, the shortcoming of this setting is when I click on last 6 months, you see that these 4 slicer are still visible. This is not what I want. To be honest, this is not what I want. I just want to have only one visible. Whenever I click on one slicer, the other 4 become invisible. So we need to do something more. I create a set of a measure. I call it check L n month. Now this is the check L 3 month. What does it mean? Now you see that there is a switch. I test if is filter last 6 months true, then you return 0. Now for this measure, it is last 3 months. So last 6 months, last 9 months, last 12 months, and X year. If its filter function return true, that means either one of the 4 slicer is selected. Then this measure will return 0. If all the other 4 slicer are not selected, then it return 1. Okay, now we can see the check last 6 months. You see that there is last 3, last 9, last 12, X year, same. So you can apply the same logic to the other 2 and also X year, same. Okay, what are they to be used? I will put it in the filter pane. Okay, now this is the check last 3 months. I put it in the filter pane and make sure it is 1. If it is 1, then this slicer will appear, will be visible. Otherwise, if it is 0, that means the other 4 slicer, any one of them is selected, then you will return 0, and the whole slicer of the last 3 months will not be visible. Okay, and then apply filter, lock this filter. All right, now I just put the check last 3 months onto the last 3 month slicer. Okay, when I click on the last 6, now you see that the last 3 month slicer become invisible. So let me continue to apply this measure to each slicer filter pane. Okay, so you can see the overall effect. Okay, you see that I have do the necessary setup, and I show you the effect right now. When I click on the last 12 months, you see these 3 slicer become invisible. But you see that this one is still visible. But when I click on the pull down menu, nothing appear. Okay, so if I want all these slicer reappear, I need to deselect this. And then you see that, okay, 2023, all right, become invisible. Same. If I want them to be visible, then I need to deselect, nothing selected. So you see these 4 reappear. Do you remember how many columns in sales table that are showing data? I would say 6. Now we go to the table mode. You see that sales GP percentage, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. It would be good if we can have an option for the user to select what columns to display in the report. It is good for analysis, and at the same time, we provide more flexibility to the user to sort the rows on certain columns. Okay, one correction I need to make, which is regarding the GP percentage in the values field here, and you can also see the row total. It is showing NAA, which is not correct. Actually, for percentage value, I should not put a data column. All right, so I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to create 4 measures, namely GP percentage, sales variance, GP variance, okay, and then a GP percentage variance. Well, for this measure, the DAX formula is a little bit complicated, and you can hold the screen and see the structure of this formula. I'm not going to explain because I suppose you already familiar with the DAX formula and our data structure, okay? Rather, I am going to use parameter fields to select these 4 measures so that I can create a slicer by the Power BI. Now, one constraint of parameter fields I need to highlight to you, which is not clearly mentioned in any Power BI documentation. For parameter fields, you cannot mix up or you cannot include both measures and column, which this parameter field is to be used by a matrix. Okay, let's create the parameter fields here. Okay, calculations. The GP percentage go first. Secondly, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. Make sure this checkbox is clicked and then create. Okay, and the slicer style, I would choose button slicer. I don't need the set. I don't need the title. And then rectangular, rounded rectangle. Core value. Then it make it center. And then the layout, columns we change to 4. A little bit narrow. Then we enable the shadow effect. Okay, is it too big? Too big, so I need to make it smaller. Core value. Choose my favorite font. Color bright. Boldface. Okay. Okay. Then at last, we need to change or we need to add the parameter under the values. Okay, let me see. Parameter. Bingo. All right. Now, if I just click on GP percentage, then we only have a 3 column. And then if we want to include the sales variance, click on this. So you see here, we have 5 column. We have a 5 column. Now, just do the counter check. 2023-08, the sales amount is 2.2 million around, and 2023-07, sales amount is 10.9, then minus 2.2, around 8.6 million less. Okay. And last preparation I'm going to do is to create 2 calculator table and 3 slicer so that we can work out the sorting on selected column in the matrix. All right. Let me fast forward to save time. Let's go to the table view. Let me show you the table I just create. Now, one is the sort column. The table name sort column, sales, GP percentage, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. I apply the same technique in sorting the year month. That means add sufficient space in front of the text so that for those field that have more space ahead, then it will be placed at the top. Okay, so this one, sales, GP percentage, sales variance, GP percentage variance. The second table I create is the sorting order, descending and ascending. Okay. Actually, I'm going to create 3 slicer. The third slicer is based on the YM table. This one you should be very familiar. All right. Here you can see that I have created 3 slicer. The first one sort the column. The second one sort order, descending or ascending. The third one is year month YM. Now this is the year month available. All right, to select. However, there is still something missing because now sales and GP, when you look at the build menu, sales, GP, and parameter. Okay, parameter is the one I set up for this, and then I just place it in the values field. All right, supposedly, sales and GP must appear because they are data column. We cannot change. All right, And then GP percentage, sales value, since they are selected. So we expect the option appear in this slicer should be sales GP, GP percentage, and sales variance. There should not be any GP variance and GP percentage variance because we did not make the selection. This is the first one I say, all right? The second one, now if I click on last 3 months, you see that there is only 3 months, August, July, and June. But in here, all the year months available in the data table appear altogether. It is not logically correct. See, so we need to do some filtering in the filter pane so that whenever we click on this or we click on this, the slicer option of this slicer and this slicer will correspondingly change. Okay, so I'm going to create the measure that can be applied in the filter pane. Okay, I create 2 measures, namely filter columns. This one is to filter the column to match the option in this slicer to this slicer. All right. Since this slicer we have a totally 6 options, and here we only have 4 options. So there is something different. We cannot just synchronize these 2 slicer. It does not work. Okay, look at this. I create a variable inside the DAX, temp call equal to select value, sort column to sort. Now, sort column. This one is sort column. Okay, sort column. So I one by one, I just check it whether it equal to the option we are open here. Of course, include the sales and GP. All right, let's look at this. Sales and GP is a must, so no issue. And then the third switch case, you see that there is a maximum, maximum equal to the temp call. Temp call, that means here, I just one by one check it whether it is selected. If it is selected, this maximum will return a result not blank. If it is the case, then 1. Otherwise, 0. So it is easy. All right. So I just put it. I open the filter pane and put the filter column inside, and is 1. Apply the filter. Lock this. All right. Immediately, you see that they are synchronized. Okay. GP percentage, sales value, sales variance already available in the slicer option. Okay. And then the other measure, filter YM, is much simpler. Okay. We just check every option here, and then to see, for example, if this is the last 3 months, that means the maximum, the minimum, whether this year month is within the maximum and minimum. If so, then it return 1. Otherwise, 0. All right. So very simple. So all I have to do is just put the measure inside the filter pane. Is 1. Apply the filter, then lock. Now immediately you see the result. All right. So if I last 6 months, 2023 08 to 2023 03. All right. If it is 2022, immediately you see that from 12 down to 1. So simple. Okay, let's do the final 2 or 3 steps to close this video. Now I'm going to create a measure. P sort, that means which option we select in this slicer. Now if nothing select, we choose sales. All right. And then another measure is the sort P. This is the major measure. Okay, for the ranking. If the user click on the month and then also click on the column to sort, together with the sort order, I choose descending as default. All right. Then we need to calculate every single customer is ranking on the selected column for the selected year. Now this is the detailed DAX formula. Let me explain to you line by line. Now first of all, if selected value, sales table YM equal to blank, what does it mean when this selected value YM equal to blank? That means we are not in any column where the year month is not blank. That means this one. It is not qualified for this calculation. We don't calculate for individual year month. Rather, we are doing the calculation at the total. That means we have hidden the total, the column total. Although we hidden the column total, but it still exists behind the scene. Okay, it's still behind the scene. It's still operating. All right. That means this measure or to be placed in the values field of the matrix will be in effect. All right. Then this row representing what year month we have selected. All right. The next row, which is we extract the distinct row of customer. Okay, that means this one. I create a temporary table that only exists in the DAX formula. This is the so-called temporary table. This will disappear. I mean, this temporary table will only exist in the DAX. Once the DAX finish, it won't exist anymore. Okay. Now I extract a distinct list of customer name. Okay. And then add a column. So sort column, this one, the sort column. And we are testing the key sort. The key sort, we just explain to you, okay, what column we are selecting for the sort order. If it is the sales, now you see the command in here, switch. If it is sales, we extract the sales for the particular year month. We choose this. And only particular customer and the year month. Now, pay attention to this. I don't summarize all the across the year month. No, I only locate a specific year month. All right, this logic also apply if the sort column is gross profit GP, GP percentage, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. Remember, where are they? They are existing in the sales table here. You see that at the very beginning, we already create the column. In addition to sales and GP, we can have the GP percentage, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. It can save us a lot of effort when we create those calculated column in the sales table. All right. And this calculation, we have assigned a temporary table name to it. I name it temp table. Then for the temp table, we add another column. I call it O rank. And if the selected value of the sort order, that means this one, sort order. Okay. If it is descending, we are using this rank X. You see that here, this is the descending order, sort column, temp table. This is the typical syntax of rank X. Otherwise, we sort in ascending order here. All right. And then once we complete this temporary table, I am using the maxx function to extract the specific customer is ranking within the temporary table, and then we return the ranking to S key, to the S key column. Now this is a measure column in matrix. Okay, I have not yet put this S key to the matrix. I have not yet done that. Now I'm going to do this. Okay, the build menu and S key. Let me put just below parameter. All right, you see that there is an additional column right after sales variance. Now, why sales variance after? Because the sales variance we have selected to display. This is the last column, all right? Then you just put right after sales variance. And then this is S key. The content is blank. And in order to have better display, I will just replace the column header with a space. See? Nothing. And then I can temporarily enable the column subtotal. Okay, you see here. Now, this is the total, and then the S key, we have all the ranking for individual customer. All right. You may find that the row is not sort as desired. Why? Because we have not yet tell the visual matrix visual to sort on which column and in what order. Okay, so we need to click on the 3-dot menu and then sort by. Now this is empty, blank, which represent S key. Okay. And then I would like to sort in ascending order. Now, why I say here is ascending order? Because the rank itself is already in the descending order. And that means the higher the amount, the lower the ranking. So I need to specify ascending. So you look at this. This is sales. Okay, 2023-08. This is sales. This is the highest. And then the second highest. The third, well, all are in descending order. Okay, remember, when you do all the setup, the last step is to tell the matrix visual what column you are going to sort and in what order. You need to explicitly tell matrix to do that. Okay, but you only need to do once. All right, so let's see, Okay, this time we don't want to sort on sales, we sort on gross profit. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then look at gross profit. Now, this is 29.5, and then you see the sales is different. This is 85, but the row upper is 81. Okay, and you see that the S key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, actually, this ranking is corresponding to the gross profit ranking of 2023-08. Bingo. Now we can also pick up 2023-07. Now you see that actually the S key, the number appear in the S key won't change. It's still in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, we are now using 2023-07 GP, 2023-07 GP. All right. So it might be difficult to present that what column is being sorted and what. The best way is to highlight the column that we are sorting the rows on what column, and also change the title, the report title, so that the reader can easily identify which column we are sorting. Of course, based on his choice selection on these 3 slicer. Okay. Anyway, I temporarily disable the column subtotal. This is the final step in order to color the column we are sorting. So I create 6 measure corresponding to each column. All right, first of all, the check here. Color GP, color GP. If the sort column to sort equal the selected value equal to GP, and the selected value of year month equal to the YM table year month. All right, that means this one match with this one. Then if it is GP, then I color this. If this one match with this one and sales the column match with this one, then I color this column, something like that. All right. So there is a 6 column. Now sales is easy to identify. When I deselect, that means all selected. That means sales GP, GP percent, sales variance, GP variance, GP percentage variance. Okay. So that's why we need 6 measure. Once we set up the measure, then we need to place this measure into the conditional formatting. Now here it is the cell element. Because we color the background of each cells. All right. I got this every single cell. Okay, cells, background color, display. This one is color cells, values and total. Okay, okay. Now since I'm not choosing the cells, I'm choosing GP, so I deselect the GP. Okay, 2023-07, 2023-07. All right, so I continue to assign the measure to the background color. Okay, GP, color GP. Okay, so let me fast forward to complete this. All right, I have done everything. Now let's do the final checking. Let's say 6 months. Okay, and we choose sales variance. Okay, sales GP, sales variance. 2023-08, you see, yellow color, yellow color, yellow color, yellow color. All right. Well, it is your decision whether to put the column total to enable the column total. One more thing is the sales and GP report title. Okay. Let me find out okay, this is the measure. Add this one. And then the year and the column result. Okay, done all. Thank you for your time. If you find this video helpful, please click the like button and also the subscribe button so that you will be updated for any new videos. Happy PBI journey.